DeAndre, how would you describe the difference between the level of athlete you saw against BYU and the level of athlete you saw against Grambling, and particularly guys who could really move on Saturday night?
They were both really good opponents. You know, we have respect for our opponents. Grambling definitely came out and played and had heart. You know, they came out and gave us their all. So they're both really good opponents and athletes.
How do you best though deal with shifty players? When you're a defensive player, you're dealing with shifty athletes like that. How do you try to stop those type of athletes?
Get all 11 guys to the ball. Yeah, get every defensive player to the ball, hustle. You know, so if one guy misses, another guy can get him.
Layth, there's been a pretty big difference between the first half and the second half for your offensive line and your offense as a whole. The first two games, what do you think's been the difference between the two halves?
You know, every halftime we go in, we make adjustments. You know, we have a game plan, but like not every time it's right. They might have a different game plan for us. So when we go into halftime, we always adjust and we go out with a little more intensity.
Is that something that can be corrected earlier than halftime sometimes?
Yeah, I mean it should be. We shouldn't have to wait till halftime, but you know, sometimes it just takes a little while to go. I know this week and next coming weeks we're gonna try to work on that a little bit.
How would you describe Brandon in the huddle on Saturday?
Good, well spoken. You know, we can hear him a lot. He took command. He took control of the offense, same way Anand does. So he did a good job with that.
DeAndre, what was your relationship like with Keone Bushlew when he was here?
He was my brother, and he will always forever be my brother. He had the most respect, I think, out of anybody in the linebacker room, from what he was going through in his life, and you know, he's smart, intelligent, funny, cool to be around. So he's still to this day my brother.
Do you still talk to him at all now that he's at Hawaii?
You know, we don't talk on a daily basis, but we might hit each other up over like social media or something.
Parker, you guys went 6 quarters, I believe, without getting a takeaway, and then all of a sudden the dam broke. How did that happen?
I think it was just kind of time. It happened. You know, like DeAndre said, as long as you get hats to the ball and you get people flying around, good things usually happen. I think it was just about time. You know, we got one. So, you know, like you said, as long as we get hats to the ball, I think we'll be all right.
You forced a couple of fumbles. Are you guys making a concerted effort to do that, or does that just come with aggressive defense?
I think it just comes naturally with the aggressive defense and effort.
Cam, you got involved in the offense there at the beginning of the second half. What was it like to, you know, participate and be involved in that manner?
It felt really good to go out there and contribute to the team. You know, go out there and give it my all. It just felt really good to be out there with the team.
Why do you think the offense has struggled in the first half of the first 2 games?
We just go out there and we're just not really executing, but we come out, make adjustments at halftime, execute a little better, you know, and just work on executing the plays and going out there with intensity.
Parker, there were obviously a lot of missed tackles, and Richrod had some descriptive adjectives for the tackling in general. What did you see when you reviewed the film as far as a lot of those missed tackles?
I think it's a lot of guys just kind of getting antsy and just, you know, really wanting to, you know, go right through someone and they just put their foot in the dirt and they go the other way. But, you know, like I said, again, as long as we get 11 hats to the ball, I think we'll be all right. And we work on it every week in practice. So as long as we keep working on it and learning from the mistakes, I think we'll be good to go.
Do you think you did a good job of getting 11 guys to the ball against Grambling, or not so much?
You know, sometimes yes, sometimes, you know, it could have been more, but for the most part, I think guys were flying around. It was just like the little technical things that were hurting us.
In the process of tackling, is that something where you have to be conscious of the fundamentals of tackling as you're doing it, or at that point, the point of contact, is it all instinctual?
It should be instinctual. I'm not sure about how it is for everyone else, but for the most part, yeah. I mean, you shouldn't really have to think about, you know, what to do. It should just come naturally. You know, we do it enough in practice to the point where, you know, it should come natural. But you know, sometimes people get a little antsy and some bad things happen. But we're working on it.
Cam, what do you like most about the way Brandon, commands the huddle?
He comes out with a lot of, he brings a lot of leadership to the team. You know, he goes out there, you know, he gives it his all. he brings more of a running perspective to the team, so having that out there is going to open up the run game and then eventually open up the pass game for everybody.
Cam, you were a dominant player at South Point, took over games and were recruited by the likes of Alabama. And then you come here and you've had a position switch and you haven't put up big numbers. Where is your confidence at right now? And can you be a big producer here in Arizona still?
I feel like I can be a big producer here, and my confidence level hasn't dropped at all. I took more of a like wait my turn type of deal. Just get better every week and every day, go out there and practice harder, and just work on the little things so I can go out there and compete at a high level with my teammates.
Layth, what does the O-line have to do to be more productive in opening holes?
Coach Monche always talks about leverage, and we got away with that these past 2 weeks. So this week we put a lot of emphasis on leverage and just getting under guys so we can drive them and open up the holes. So leverage is a big part, and just finishing, driving, playing to the whistle.
What did you see on those fourth down plays that should go your way?
Just stupid mistakes, stupid little errors. We had to be more crisp. We didn't come out on those fourth down plays necessarily as crisp as we could have. When we went back and watched the film, there's a lot of things we could clean up, and that's what we saw.
DeAndre and Parker, when you guys are down by 21-3 at the half, who's the one that's stepping up on the defensive side of the ball, trying to kind of rally everybody on the player side?
Everyone. We all lead in our own individual ways. So there's some guys that are more vocal. There's some guys out there who, go and make plays. So everybody contributed into bringing that energy coming up the second half.
Like, you guys have a lot of players on the team that are from Hawaii, some that are from American Samoa. Is this game a big deal as Hawaii? Is that a team that kids grew up talking about or liking at all? Or?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not from the island, but I think the people that are, I think they got a little extra to this game because they're all either from Hawaii or Samoa, like you said, and they grew up close watching their players. So I think they're really looking forward to it. They know a lot of players on the team, so.
For DeAndre and/or Parker, Coach was asked if the team has kind of met his expectation level so far this season. He said no, that he's disappointed that you guys are 1-1 and kind of struggled against Grambling. What do you think about the overall performance so far?
I think there's always room for improvement. As long as you go out, practice, wanting to get better, wanting to improve, wanting to succeed, I think that's a recipe for success. So as long as, as a team we keep doing that, I think every week we'll be making strides.
What do you think, DeAndre?
I agree. We're definitely not where we had wanted to be. Everybody wants to be 2-0, but we take one game at a time. Like Coach Rod says, we dwell on it for 24 hours and we move on to the next opponent. So we just got to go out every week and give it our best, and give it all we got.
Parker, what's most impressed you about Belknap and what he's been able to do to work his way into the lineup?
I'd say his work ethic. He really loves the game of football, and he works at it every day, on and off the field, whether it's in the classroom watching film or on the field. But I'm real proud of him the way he's came along, and just like to see him and as a defense line and defensive unit to keep making strides.
Are either of you four, is anyone here just by chance helping Fuamano on the haka dance, or have anything to do with that, or have been part of that resurgence? Question could be for anybody.
No, it's all him and Fish.
Who's Fish?
Alua.
Okay. Have you seen them do that at all, or can you speak to the work that they put in with that?
They worked hard on it. I think it took Sonny like 2-3 months just to finish it, perfect it, and we've been working on it a little bit after practice every day. And you could tell he put his heart into it. He really worked hard on it, and it's gonna be ready soon.
What do you think it means to him?
I think it means a lot. Like in their culture, that dance is like real meaningful. And now that we have one of our own that means something to us, I think it means a lot.
Does it help fire you guys up for games at all?
Yeah, it does. Because it gets them fired up a lot. So when we see them getting fired up, it gets everybody else fired up.
Sonny and Michael Elatize in on you, they're all from Hawaii. They've been talking about this game and what it means to just have a team from their state coming in.
No, I mean every game means something to everybody, so you gotta go out every game, and if you just focus on one game a year, that's not the right attitude. So they haven't really been talking about that too much, but it probably means a little something to them.
For each one of you, favorite thing you saw happen in the NFL yesterday?
The Rangers won.
Layth?
I don't know, my Cardinals lost, so there's not much I liked about yesterday.
I didn't really watch any games yesterday.
Favorite thing you saw happen in the NFL yesterday?
I had homework. I didn't get to watch no TV.
Parker, anything?
Yeah, I watched